How is it going today, guys? My name is Apple, and today we are back at it with another video, and I'm going to be talking about why you do not want to have all of your money sitting in the bank. Now, this isn't a video about why your money isn't safe in the bank and why you need to hide it all in your backyard, but what I am going to explain is how having all of your money in a bank account is actually going to be losing you money over time. Now, in order to explain this, we have to start with inflation. Simply, inflation is the process by which an increase in the price of goods and services causes the value of each individual dollar to go down. So when we look back at how much stuff like gas and a loaf of bread cost like 50 years ago, there's going to be some pretty dramatic differences between those prices and today. So in 1970, for example, the price of a loaf of bread was 25 cents, and the price of a gallon of gas was 36 cents. Now, clearly today, you can't get a full tank of gas for under $5, and this is inflation in action. So if your money is losing purchasing power over time, this is going to be an issue. The average bank account pays about 0.05% interest, and inflation usually grows at about a rate of 2%. As you can see, this means that you are going to be losing just under 2% of your money's purchasing power for each year that it sits in the bank. And because this doesn't have anything to do with the bank taking your money away, digging a hole in your backyard and burying it all is not going to help. So, for example, say you put $5,000 away today and came back to it in a year. On average, the bank will have given you another $2.50 for storing that money with them for a year, and the purchasing power of that money will have gone down $100. So all in all, you're out $97.50 just for keeping that money in the bank for a year. Now, this doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you get to like $50,000 and you're losing just under $1,000, or $500,000 and you're losing $10,000 each year just for keeping your money in the bank, this is significant. So what it really comes down to is to maintain your money's value, you have to make sure that it is working for you to gain at least a 2% return each year. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to invest in an ETF. Now, ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund and is essentially a stock that tracks an entire industry or market. For example, there are ETFs that track North American stocks or ETFs that follow utility stocks. And the benefit of keeping your money in an ETF, they greatly mitigate risk without requiring a significant amount of capital. This is because you're not relying on the performance of one single company, but the performance of hundreds or even thousands, while only investing in one thing. So when one stock in the ETF loses value, it will not have a very large effect on you because there are so many others to absorb that loss that the change is negligible. Because they have less risk associated with them, ETFs are less likely to dramatically increase and generally move at a much slower rate than stocks, meaning they are also a safer place to invest and just forget about it. On average, ETFs tend to return in the 6 to 8% range, which is more than enough to keep up with a 2% inflation. Because you can put your money in an ETF and forget about it, there are very few other costs associated with this type of investment. Depending on how you purchase your ETF, there may be a small commission cost. However, if you purchase through Robinhood, which I explained in the previous video and which you can find up here, you're going to eliminate these commission costs. So that's why you should not keep too much of your money in the bank and instead put it to work so that it's going to maintain and even grow in its value over time. And that's all for the video. As always, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and leave me a comment about what you want to see in future videos or anything we talked about here. And until next time.